Good evening. Good evening. I did a surprise attack today. This is Stacy's Closet. And if you're here on purpose, which means you have a purpose. And tonight, as you can see, yes, this is straight from Stacy's Closet. Let's zoom down. This is a dress. Do y'all see these boots, honey? These boots, honey. I'm going to have to show y'all these boots, honey. I'm going to have to show y'all these boots. They're giving me life right now, okay? I got to get this camera focused, okay? So forgive me. I'm trying to get the camera focused because we are going to get into it tonight, okay? I'm going to show y'all the boots because, honey, I love the boots. If you want to know, these are the boots, honey. And this is a dress. I'll put the description down in the bottom of where I got it from. As you know, one of my favorite spots is Amazon.com. That's where the boots and the necklace and the earrings came from. But this dress is from Charlotte Russe, y'all. Yes, honey. Yes, a diva on a budget. I done told y'all. Y'all better get into it, okay? Now, again, let's get into it tonight. Tonight, I'm coming to you, and it's because I want to talk about something that is really important to me right now. And it's called Love Thy Neighbor. Because I want you to love yourself and everyone else. So I find it difficult for you to love other people and you don't yet love yourself. So we've covered the forgiveness and to start loving yourself. Y'all know I am so funny about this doggone hair, honey. Y'all know I be trying to give y'all life challenge. This hair don't always want to do right. So we gonna work through that, okay? We gonna work through that. So, but anyway, tonight we're loving thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. Look, I know we are living in a time where racism is at an all-time high. Well, it might seem like it is, but really and truly, is it not just repeating itself from back in the day? Only difference is there's cameras, and so they're recording a lot of what's going on. So, but I mean, if you be honest, you got to be honest now. They recorded things back in the day. They put it on TV. I mean, I've watched documentaries where they set the fire hose out on our people, and they were the police. So, police have been in a system of abuse anyway. So I don't, so this whole thing with, they're, all of a sudden, they didn't all of a sudden start doing this. This has been going on. So again, this is about loving thy neighbor. So I want you to, to embrace. First of all, we don't understand our neighbor, so it's difficult to love them. But the truth of the matter is, if they're just as human as we are, so they have the same struggles, they have the same fears, the same worries as we do. So I think if we actually took the time to get to know them, you will go out here, there's a show on the ID channel called Fear Thy Neighbor. And again, I'm not knocking the show. It's just always bothered me that we love things like that, things that are tearing our neighbor down. They're in fear. We shouldn't fear our neighbor. We should love our neighbors. Come on now. You should not be at war with your neighbor. Like this your home. You shouldn't be in fear of thy neighbor. We should be loving thy neighbor, because this is the thing. Again, we're all human. We're all in this place together. But as you know, there are a lot of times that it makes it difficult for us to love our neighbors. And we start to treat them as though they're not human. We have there are some of our neighbors, they're struggling. They can be struggling with addiction. They can be struggling with alcoholism. They might even be struggling with sickness. It could be diabetes, HIV, cancer, whatever it is. They could be struggling with any of this stuff, but they're still human. They still need love. They still desire love. And we're so angry towards them. I don't understand it. And I found this book. It is called Social Racialism. It is by Dr. Gary B. McLaurin. And it's on Amazon.com. And I'm going to put that in the link. And part of the reason I'm going to put it in the link is because he makes a very strong point about how there's a lot of social racism in a lot of social in a lot of social things, like even in school systems, things like that. And it's because we lack the knowledge or understanding of each other's culture. Not only do we lack the knowledge, we refuse to actually even educate ourselves on other cultures and races. And so because of that, it creates this thing of social racialism, because we don't yet understand each other. We don't, and so it's made it difficult for us to love each other. And I think that it's a very simple fix. I do. How about we just understand that we're all human? That, I think, would go to a long way of loving our neighbor. So this is the thing. We have preferences. We have favorite foods. We have favorite places we like to go. And so we've gotten to where we'll start being like, oh, that's, black people eat that or Asian people eat that. No, we're people. Why do we have to put it with a race or nationality? I love sushi. And that's, again, it's considered an Asian cuisine. However, I like it. And embrace, like, why should we, that shouldn't be where, oh, that's Asian food. No, that's food. I enjoy it. I'm going to eat it. Maybe if we took the time out, maybe we should try different things. I like bulgogi. That's a Korean food. Again, embrace it. That's, it's food. Food is food to me. I like to eat, as you can probably tell. I like to eat. So guess what? It doesn't matter to me what culture or what nationality made it. If it's good, I'm gonna eat it. I mean, there's some food that I don't like that is in what would be considered the black culture. There's some food that I don't really like. Again, I was watching something and they was on there and they was joking and they was talking about how white people will put raisins in potato salad. And I was laughing and I was like, they do, sometimes people want to try a little twist with something. I don't eat potato salad, so I wouldn't know the difference, because I'm just like, I think that's disgusting to put some potatoes with some mayonnaise. Is just not good to me. So I wouldn't know the difference, okay, because I'm not eating it no way. But they were saying it in a way, like they were saying it like, they don't know how to fix our food. And I'm just like, okay, well, food is food. Does it have to have a label? But that's the problem. We label everything and everybody. Instead of embracing and loving our neighbor, we find ways to profile them. We find ways to discriminate against them. Why are we not finding ways to love them? Why are we not finding ways to humanize them? Come on now. And Langston Hughes wrote a poem about America being, not being America. It was not the dream that it was meant to be. And I love that poem. And if you get a chance, read it. Again, it's Langston Hughes and it's called America. And again, I read it and I was like, wow, I was blown away, because he made some very strong points. The dream that it was supposed to be, it's not what it is. It's supposed to be the land of the free. But are we free in the land that we're in? Again, I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if you say I'm churchy, whatever. A man freed by God is free indeed. So let me be very clear when I say that. I have been freed by Jesus. So again, I am free. Now, in the natural, let me break this down. In the natural, sometimes we as Black people don't necessarily feel that we are free in the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? We don't always feel free to be able, because guess what? Are we truly free in America, in the land of the free, if there are neighborhoods that we can't necessarily go into because the color of our skin? So automatically we're treated differently. We're faced with racism. There are colleges that we go to that we're seen as different because, again, but we're in the home of the free, right? So is America truly free? And again, that goes back to, if we learn to love our neighbor, embrace your differences. You're not supposed to be alike. First of all, I don't want nobody walking around like me. I am way too much, honey. I do not want nobody else walking around like me. I'm a whole lot to take. I know it. So I don't want nobody else walking around like me. So I think that we should embrace our differences, but learn how to love them. Look, they don't have to be your friend. Everybody isn't friends. How can two walk together unless they be agreed? So everybody is not going to be your friend, right? Again, that's okay. Does that mean that they have to be my enemy? Does that mean that I have to dislike them because they're not my friend? We just don't have we don't have anything in common. Doesn't matter what race or nationality they are. We don't have anything in common. We're not going to be friends. Okay? So again, that's the problem. You're trying to force somebody to be your friend. They don't have to be your friend. But we need to have a mutual respect, a mutual love for each other. We need to come together and have a mutual love for one another. Because again, we're here together. And now, do you want to be in a land right now? We're in a land that is in turmoil. We're in a land where people are on trial for killing a man for jogging. So this is not the land of the free as we proclaim. But that goes back to we don't love our neighbor. See, so what, my neighbor was jogging. I live in a neighborhood that is what would be considered predominantly white. And I say that because I don't really it's not a lot of black people in my neighborhood, right? Okay. So it's me and my neighbor. We the only two. So I see a lot of, I see, there are white people, they walk their dog, they go jogging, they do that every day. Every day they out jogging, they walking the dog and all that, right? Now, as for me, I probably need to get out there with them, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. But they're out there running, they're out there, walking their dog. Now, what if they were gunned down because they were running? You let that sink in. Let that sink in that a man was gunned down because he was jogging. He was working out in what is considered a predominantly white neighborhood. And because of that, it was seen as a crime. My neighbors do it all day. It's not a crime to them. It's not a crime to anyone else. But again, we're in the home of the free, remember? So this goes back to, again, loving our neighbor. We got to love, we have to love our neighbors. We really do. We got to learn how to love our neighbor. I had a patient that went into the pharmacy and the pharmacist knew that she was HIV positive, right? So she heard the pharmacist basically talking about her. Now, at the end of the day, no matter what she has, she's a human being. That means she has feelings. That means she feels pain. She feels joy the same way we do. If somebody is talking about us, we're offended, we're hurt, whatever. So was this young lady. She was hurt and she was offended. And she didn't feel like a human. She walked out feeling like, I just been stigmatized again. Now, very briefly, she got to feel what it feels like to be black. Because we get stereotyped every day. So very briefly, she felt what that felt like for a moment. We feel it daily. Because unfortunately, you can't tell if she's HIV positive, but I'm black. So again, that's where it comes to loving our neighbor. So regardless of whatever it is, does it matter? Love our neighbor, because see, love would have not been talking about her. I'm not telling you to feel sorry for her, but I'm just telling you to treat her like a human. I'm not telling you to feel sorry for me because guess what? I think my black is beautiful. My melanin is popping, baby. So I don't need, trust me when I tell you. Do you see this, baby? Honey, you better be beautiful in the skin you in. And I done told y'all before, it's a poor frog don't praise his own pond. So do you see this, honey? This frog right here gonna praise her pond. Because, baby, this pond was blessed with beauty. Come on now. Now, so I'm not asking for that. No, what I'm asking for is mutual respect. Mutual respect. I don't care what color my patient is, what none of that. None of that. I don't even care. Look, we can be out in the street. I don't care. If you're a human being, I'm gonna treat you like a human. That's all that matters to me is that you're a human. And that's how I'm gonna treat you. I don't even care if you're homeless on the corner. You can be dirty the whole nine. Listen, am I going to treat you less than a human being? Absolutely not, because you are still a human. And guess what? Some of us are just a paycheck away from being out there ourselves. Some of us are just an accident away from being out there ourselves. So how can I talk about, degrade any of that? I can't. I love people. I don't care what race or nationality. I love you. I genuinely love you because guess what? We're all sinners saved by grace. So it doesn't, we all do messed up stuff. We sometimes we guess what? We even mistreat some people sometimes. Ask that person for forgiveness, get up, dust your shoulders off and come on, let's give it another try. Period. We're all in this. We're humans. We all bleed. Now, let me just tell you, unless you are alien, you all bleeding red blood now. Again, we're human. You cut us, we're going to bleed. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I want you to love. First, I want you to learn how to love yourself. Secondly, learn how to love thy neighbor, period. And I'm going to say this. If you're supposed to be a Christian, you're in the church, do me a favor. Stop judging people and love them. Love them. You know, there's far too many times, I've seen people, they condemn Christian people. So this is another thing. If you're not a Christian and you don't go to church, why are you worried about the folk that do go to church? Why are you talking about them? If that's not what you want to do, don't do it. But you can't knock somebody that does. You can't knock somebody that has woke up and realized, I need salvation. I need Jesus. You can't, look, if that ain't what you want to do, that's up to you. You got to work out your own soul of salvation with fear and trembling. But guess what? Why are you talking about them? Love them. Embrace them. Love them. We are different, which means we have different thoughts. We have different opinions. We have different values. But again, we're all still human. We got to learn how to love each other. Learn how to love each other. Now, again, I'm serious for this entire month. Probably to after Christmas, I am going to be promoting this book, Social Racialism. And the reason that I am is because it is a powerful book. And I think that if you read it, I'm going to put the link and everything because it's found on Amazon as well. But I'm going to actually put the link on there. And the reason because I think that if we read, we'll get a better understanding how to love our neighbor. I'm serious when I say this. If we get a better understanding of why we have some differences and why it's difficult, we can learn how to embrace our differences and learn how to love each other, okay? And that's what I want you to do. We're getting ready to come into Christmas season and all this. And it's supposed to be love and wonderful in the atmosphere. It's the season of giving. You should have a season of giving all year round. But come on. This is the season, what they say is the season of giving. So I'm going to give you some love. And I'm telling you, you need to read this book. I want you to love each other. So again, love thy neighbor, love thy neighbor. Now, this is Stacy's Closet. I'm getting ready to sign off. I did not know that it was going to be this long-winded, but again, I want you to love each other. Truly, I do. Embrace each other. Love your differences, no matter what they are. Now, I'm going to give you a hug. Love you, love you. And I absolutely love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. And again, this is from Stacy's Closet. I'll put all that information again in the description box. And this is me signing off again until next time, my dear.